Hello everyone, we'll be starting with the first game, Garbage Girl Louise, really soon. Just hang on a second to get the resolution set up.
Useless, useless, useless! All these raccoons are useless! You should be ashamed of bringing these filthy creatures to me! If we want to complete
Okay. Okay, it displays correctly, I think. Okay, it does. Good. Okay, we should be live and rolling then. Hey, Mega Team Up, Jaden, Pixelboy, and all the other lurkers. So let's rev this up. 1. Oh yeah, remember Mega Team Up? You can suggest up to 2 indie games that haven't been covered yet on Sage. Yes, I do, Strike. Join a Discord server, please. Well, you can at least submit one request, as long as it's an indie game. Well, you can already tell what one of its main inspirations is. So, yeah. Okay, let's restart the game so we can actually see the intro. So you know the context of what's happening.
Useless, useless, useless! All these raccoons are useless! You should be ashamed of bringing these filthy creatures to me! If we want to complete our ritual with success, you must bring me a raccoon in perfect health, no less!
I believe I have what you're looking for. I've spotted a raccoon in the stormy skyline. He lives with a brainless garbage collector and looks as though he's been pampered his entire life. That raccoon will be perfect for our ritual. If you're willing to kidnap him, that is.
Ready the battle drill and set course to the stormy skyline! This raccoon is ours!
Rocky. Greetings, everyone. My name is Etterville, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Garbage Girl Louise, a 2D... Gonna set this. There's 2 modes. I'm gonna be playing a modern for obvious reasons.
Useless, useless, useless! All these...
Greetings, everyone. My name is Etterville, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Garbage Girl Louise, a 2D action platformer in development by Super Squidoodle. I'm gonna be playing this on modern mode, and I can't... I'm gonna be playing this on modern mode. Oh, that's how you start. One last. Greetings, everyone. My name is Etterville, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Garbage Girl Louise, a 2D action platformer in development by Super Squidoodle. I'm gonna be playing this on modern mode. Let the adventure begin. We're trying to rescue the 3 raccoons in every state. Sure, feel free to list them, Strike. I'm gonna be playing this on modern mode. Let the adventure begin. Some moldy blue cheese. In every one of these stages, I'm on the lookout for 3 raccoons. In every one of these stages, I'm on the lookout for 3 raccoons who've been kidnapped by the Mole King. Here's the first of many. Nice. As you can tell, this game's inspiration is... Oh, it's a power-up. This is magic, Luis. Save. Oh, this is the first power-up. This is magical, Luis. Always check up here. After all, I knew they'd place a raccoon there. Yep, I have momentum physics. Ow. At least I don't instantly die if I fall into a bottomless pit. At least I don't instantly die if I fall into a bottomless pit. But I can only take up to 3 hits before perishing. Similar to another really popular franchise. Similar to another really popular franchise. Similar to another really popular franchise. So the blue cheese actually heals me. Similar to another really popular franchise. Level complete. Now we're indoors in a sewer system, I believe. We gotta save Rocky from the Mole King. That first stage started out fairly simple. Wait a sec. That first stage started out easy enough, but quickly we had to start. I see the raccoon there. The first stage started out easy enough, but then we had to wall jump. But then at the end we had to wall jump. But then at the end we had to wall jump over bottomless pits. The first level started out easy enough, but then we had to wall jump over bottomless pits. Let's go. Oh, by the way, in the final game, saving all the raccoons will give you a reward. Oh, by the way, in the final game, saving all the raccoons will give you an award. Will he come back, train? Well, you did, just as I fell into the pit. Thanks for trolling me there. And by the way, Pixel Boy, I'm joking. That's what Louise would call many of these things. And I just realized something. Why was there why was there a bunch of crystals down there? If this is supposed to be the intended path upwards. Obviously that means there's a raccoon there. This is more along the lines of... See? This is more along the lines of that aforementioned franchise than Sonic. This is more along the lines of the aforementioned franchise rather than Sonic. Oh, I like the animations. Look at the animation when she ducks. We can see a small ghosting effect. Answer for a joke. Oh, missed. Answer, Jaden, for a joke. The subways are trolling me. So yeah, momentum here is important. I can't easily change direction in midair. So yes, momentum is really important here. I can't easily change direction in midair. I can barely change direction in midair. I can barely change direction in midair. Once I'm moving in midair, I can barely change direction. Do they have spike tops? I think that's what's happening. Fine. We'll just redo this. I don't care about the crystals so much. Yeah, I can momentum is more along the lines of Sonic, it feels. See what I mean? It's kind of hard to... It depends. Of course. This is suddenly become much harder. I kind of wish I had a bit more training on... I kind of wish I had more training on her inertia. It doesn't... I need to get used to jumping if I'm gonna make these jumps. Like, this jump in particular is surprisingly difficult. I don't know how I got it during first try. And don't you worry, this will be edited down in post. It's not like I use these in a shop. Now, these would be more important if I was actually playing on classic mode. Yeah, momentum is more along the lines of Sonic than the other franchise. I don't recall it being this hard to gain momentum in that series. I don't recall it being that difficult to gain momentum in that series. Nope, they're not spike tops. I'm not sure what happened there. I must have kept hitting them on the side. Come on, let me up! Case in point. We're out of here. Ah, this was the last stage? I guess that explains why there was a difficulty spike at the end. Regardless, what's been shown here is pretty promising. Regardless, what's been shown here has been pretty promising and charming. Regardless, what's been shown here has been pretty charming and promising. And it's deceptively difficult. Oh sure, in the first stage, the momentum platforming isn't too challenging, but once you enter stage 2, you really need to get a handle on it for the second stage. You really need to get a handle on it for the second half of the second stage. For 1-2's second half. You really need to get a handle on it for the second half of 1-2. As trying to gain momentum in air, as trying to change direction in midair is really difficult here, especially when you're running at especially when you're already moving. Especially when you're already moving. It's more along the lines of classic Sonic in that way. It's more along the lines of classic Sonic in that way. Otherwise, this was a very solid demo. Controls and physics felt on point, and it was suitably challenging. Hunting down the trapped raccoons will be an interesting challenge in the final title. I foresee some of them being placed in rather devious locations. I foresee a few of them being placed in rather devious locations. What's the name of it? You can share it here. And as for the raccoons, they offer a nice bit of optional difficulty. I foresee a few of them being placed in rather devious locations. In any case, good job, developers. In any case, good job, developers. I wish the best of luck to you. I like this so much that I wish there was a 1-3, and perhaps a boss battle. And perhaps a boss battle. Oh well, I'll be looking forward to Sage 2023's version. Oh well, I'll be looking into the Sage 2023 version of this. At least I hope it'll show up there. I enjoyed this demo so much that I was hoping there would be a 1-3, as well as perhaps a boss. Oh well. Alrighty then. Now is this game? Let me set up the next one. The next game, as promised, is going to be Liacff, or however you pronounce it. For that one, I'm going to have to switch over to a slightly different mode because it doesn't have a windowed mode. Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, graphics are fine. I think I'd place a stage in between 1-1 and 1-2. As you saw, the ending can be a bit killer. Oh, maybe we'll cover it tonight, we'll see. It's also a bullet hell game, so, maybe tonight after the next game. I will The next game is gonna be interesting, so, Well, I'll be streaming for about at least 90 more minutes for 2 more demos. I presume, Pixel Boy, you're still here. Strike Forcer, maybe. Is it October Ordeal? Is October Ordeal Halloween themed? I'm curious. Good. Okay, here goes nothing. Let's rev up the start. Come on, Liacff. FYI, I'm gonna pronounce this as Liacff something something. Tail of the Cursed Chain. Here we go.
Pump it up, kitty. Just pump it up, kitty cat. Wait.
Okay, looks like it's working. Looks like this is actually one of those games where I have to go through the title screen really fast so I don't get copyright struck. I didn't think I'd encounter it during this age, but there's a first time for everything. Welp. Everything looks like it's a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The song they're playing on the title screen may be a licensed track. I'm not sure, but to play it safe, I'm gonna go through the menu really fast. And no, my computer's not lagging, it's the game itself here. Liacff framework. Greetings, everyone. My name is Etterville, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Liacff, Tail of the Cursed Chain. Tail of the Cursed Chain, a 2D action platformer in development by Draco Tsuyoshi. So Draco and Tanri are chained together now. Let the adventure begin. I'm playing this with a keyboard because it feels better that way. So top left is our health bar and number of coins. I want the mushroom. This is listed as being an original game, but I'll let you decide how original this actually is. This is listed as being an original game. I'll let all of you decide just how original this is. I'll let you all decide just how original this actually is. Ow. So here's our main protagonist. So here are our main protagonists, Tanri and Draco. And yes, this is classic Sonic physics. So momentum is key. Whoa! Fine, we'll go underwater then. Now I'm being nommed. Whoa, you shot me right through the pipe. I'll let all of you be the arbiter of just how original this is. Whoa, it's boss time. Okay, that's instant death. Okay, touching that is instant death. That's good to know. So here are two main protagonists, Hanbury and Draco. I control the form, both chained together. Chained together by this mystical chain. Tied together by this mystical chain. Tied together via this mystical chain. Tied together via this mystical chain. I'll let all of you be the arbiter of just how original this actually is. Credit where credit's due. Credit where credit's due. This does have many different pathways. This has many different pathways. We're down here again. Credit where credit's due. This does have many different pathways. I simply need to figure out how to get up there, though. Ah, Distorted Travesty. Not many people know about that fan game. Draco. And yes, Draco has a Yoshi head. I guess the objective here is to simply survive. I don't know how to counterattack. Thanks, Draco. Thanks for the piggyback ride, Draco. Oh. Hang on a sec. Let me check. Why can't I use the fireball here? Oh, I get it now. Draco's supposed to eat the enemies, then shoot fireballs. That's what I was missing. Silly me. It was that simple all along. And yes, there is a controls list, but it's on the game page. But it's only on the game page itself. Eat. So that's what the upper right bar actually means. And that's why... So that's what the upper left meter actually is. That also explains why only sometimes Draco could lift me up. That also explains why only sometimes Draco could fly me up. Come on. I want to spin dash. Eat. Draco. Get down here. I wish I had more direct control over Draco. I wish I had more direct control over Draco. Man, the physics here are interesting. I wish I had more direct control over Draco. does this do? Nothing. So this leads back to the boss. Welp. She's supposed to be the main antagonist, by the way. See, that's how you're supposed to fight them. See? It's actually very straightforward. Oh. That was a lot shorter than I expected. Like, Like, there are different pathways, so I should probably at least check out the uppermost one. But, overall, this just felt rather strange to me. I wouldn't call this bad, simply odd. From the story to the gameplay. From the background story to the gameplay. My apologies, I was thinking of a different game. Historic Travesty is more of an indie title, with a lot of fan stuff thrown in. Technically, it is a celebration of the early to mid 2000s webcomics. Specifically, of the early to mid 2000s Sprite webcomics. And the way they said Newgrounds here, this totally reminds me of the earlier era of Flash games. Also, there's no way to exit out of this menu, by the way. You're forced to close the game and restart it. So we'll do that. I mean, I did show off the game for 10 minutes, but I at least want to show the upper route, somehow. This is not even fully released. This is pre-alpha. This is pre-alpha to alpha. Unless, of course, it's aiming to be an... You know, Jaden, you know what this really reminds me of, Jaden? The earlier era of Flash games. The earlier era of Flash games. See, this even says audio will be added in the final product. How is this fully released then? See, it even says here that audio will be added in the final product. Ah, sure, I can fix that later. I don't think the remix itself is the issue, especially as a fan remix. Knowing how Drago can fly, I'm curious. Also, I wouldn't blame the physics engine. The physics are fine. It's more the level design. It's more the level design. Ow. It's more the level design. It's more the level design. And a lack of training. And a lack of training for these moves. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And a lack of training for these moves. What? Wait, what's happening? See, I really want to check the upper route, but they're really hard to access. Whoa, shower of coins. I just want this, by the way. What? Oh, this is 3 fireballs then. Assuming I don't get killed, that means the boss battle will be really easy. The ground isn't exactly flat. What? Come on, I'm trying to do the Sonic thing. I know you can do it. I don't think the curves are set up correctly here. I don't think the splines are set up correctly here. There are also a bunch of these odd discontinuities. In the terrain itself, which aren't really necessary. I think I know what they're trying to go for this game, but it's really rough. Again, it's not the engine's fault, it's more the level design. And the fact the game doesn't really train you on how to use these moves. It just drops you into the first stage and says, have fun. It just drops you into the first stage and says, good luck, have fun. Don't die. And we're back here. Well, at least we have infinite fireballs. It just drops you in at the start and says, good luck, have fun. Like, this does have potential. I won't discount that. Goodbye, boss. I knew it'd be this easy. Well, at least in Knuckles Chaotix, the level design is... Well, actually, scratch my statement. I will retract it. All I'll say about this is that this is far from being done. It either feels like an early era Flash game, or it's in pre-alpha to alpha. It either feels like an early era Flash game, or it's in pre-alpha to alpha, or it's in a pre-alpha to alpha state. I'm not going to discount it and say it has no potential, but it has a long ways to go. In any case, thank you for sending this game to me, developer. Thank you for sending this game to me, developer. I wish the best of luck to you. Thankfully though, it didn't suffer as much as Chaotix does. Namely, as the chain actually favors the player. Thankfully, this doesn't suffer as much as Chaotix does. Thankfully, this doesn't suffer as much as Chaotix did. Here, it gives much more priority to the leading player. Here, it gives much more priority to the active character. Here, it gives much more priority to the active character. Here, it gives much more priority to the active character. In this case, Tambri. Alright, let me set up the next game, and don't you worry, that will be much better. I can assure you that. And remember, the only reason I really covered this is because they asked. If they didn't ask, I'd probably skip over it. There are many Sage demos which are made by amateurs which are... I feel covering them would do more of a disservice to them. Or they haven't reached the point where they're skilled enough, or it's not exactly polished enough. I would say it'd be less odd like this, Jaden. You know, if you want to take on a funnier fan game which tries to be more humorous, look at Dragon Man Reignited, because that's technically also a joke game, but at the very least there's consistency and quote-unquote meat to it. And thank you for watching, viewers. Next game, I can assure you, is better. In fact, every other game following this one will be better. Or Mago, or Mario's Mystery Meat, or Sponge's Adventure. Really, let me put it this way. Every other demo I'm going to cover from here on out will be better than what we just covered now. That I will assure you. It may not be to your favorite genre or liking, but at the very least it'll be more competent or polished. That being said, Draco, we all start from somewhere. If you see my first game, it was rather janky like this. In fact, worse because the physics were not good. But we all have to practice. Don't give up. Oh yeah. The important thing is, don't give up. The next game I'm also going to play with the keyboard, but that's because of interesting. On the front page, it sounded perfectly fine. I don't have any issues. So, I probably give it to another person just for a second opinion. I'll get to that. I mean, today I was busy in the middle of the day, so I couldn't really help. Whoa, why did... Okay. Okay, for this one I'm gonna do it full screen because not enough people are chatting here. But I will swap back to it when we're done. So, alright. Last test. Perfect, it shows up. By this point I don't think we need oops. We want cat emotes by now. Okay, that looks fun. This looks fun too. Right, give me 1 minute, 2 minutes, and we'll get to this. Oh, by the way, tomorrow we'll cover 1 or 2 2D games, and then we'll move on to all 3D games. There's one game in particular there that I really want to get to, but I couldn't cover it the last time, the last Team Next Fest. We'll get to it tomorrow. That I can assure you. Anyways, this one is actually something I didn't expect to cover, but people have been raving about it. Like, they're calling this a hidden gem. So let's see just how correct they are. All set, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greetings, everyone. My name is Ettervale, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Adventure Kitty Drill Buster, a 2D arcade game in development by Liacff Games. For full there's no disclosure, oops. Greetings, everyone. My name is Ettervale, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Adventure Kitty Drill Buster, a 2D arcade game in development by Liacff Games. Let the adventure begin. What's happening? Oh no, not again. Four of them in total. Wait, I'll do it again. I didn't time it right. Greetings, everyone. My name is Ettervale, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Adventure Kitty Drill Buster, a 2D arcade game in development by Liacff Games. Oh no. Not again. Not again. Okay, sorry. I just want to time it so I have the least amount of waiting time and editing doesn't break. I just don't like to edit down times like that. Tick, sorry. Greetings, everyone. My name is Ettervale, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Adventure Kitty Drill Buster, a 2D arcade game in development by Liacff Games. Ah. Oh no, not again. Four of them in total. Don't go back to sleep, Carter. I went to the comic too fast. Of Adventure Kitty Drill Buster, a 2D arcade game in development by Liacff Games. Ah. Oh no, not again. Four in total. Don't go back to sleep, Cardin. We have a world to save. Case in point. Mega Buster. Direct hit. Time for plasma power. Drill acquired. Oh no, not again. We got his power. We got his power. We're Mega Manning this up. Our plan is to drop straight into danger. Our plan is to drop straight into danger. Level 1. Go for gold. Good for us. We sure do. Pretty shiny. Coins. Who put all these coins in the first place? Who put all these coins here in the first place? As well as the barriers for that matter. As well as the barriers for that matter. Only up to the last checkpoint, that is. So you don't lose much. Only up to the last checkpoint, that is. And you have infinite lives in this mode. Level 2. What's a drill mite? What's a drill mite? Our plan is to drop straight into Our plan is to drop straight into danger. Let the adventure begin. I'm gonna try collecting as many coins as possible. Just in case for later. Just in case the other area... Just in case the future areas become too difficult. I'm gonna try collecting as many coins as possible. Just in case the future levels become too difficult. Level 3. Cannons where? By the way, I can only drill down, left, or right. I missed one coin up there, by mistake. By the way, Level 4, the Worm Keeper. By the way, I can only drill... By the way, I can't drill upwards. By the way, I can't drill upwards. By the way, Cardin cannot drill upwards. Keep that in mind when making a path forwards. Keep that in mind while drilling... Keep that in mind when drilling a path forwards. Level 5. Directional drilling. I getcha. We need to drill through all these arrows in the correct direction in order to open the gates. Oops. Let's see what happens if I miss one now. I get sent back to the start. At least I don't need to re-drill them. No, that's cider. Indeed it is, Jaden. This was featured prominently during the trailer. Who put all these coins down here? Who put all these coins down here? And for that matter, all the coin gates. Halfway through. Already I'm liking this a lot. This really reminds me of a Nitrom game. I'm already liking this game a lot. A secret room, you say? Roger that, Felicity. I'll keep my eyes out. Hang on a second. There it is. That wasn't that hard. Welp, first death. Welp, first damage. So the punishment for failure isn't that high, really. As you can see. I'm seeing if we can outpace it. See, the punishment for failure is not that high, really. Level 7, border enemy. Level 7, batter enemies. See, the punishment for failure isn't really that high. Question mark? Oops, hang on. So these are like red coins, aren't they? How do you get this then? Must be a secret. In essence, the punishment for dying in this mode is non-existent. Level 8, follow the leader. And I failed to do so correctly, so I paid the price. In essence, the punishment for failure is really not that high. In essence, the punishment for failure here isn't really that high. In essence, the punishment for failure here is almost non-existent. Level 9. I remember this level from the trailer. How do you get that? Is there a special ability I'm going to acquire later that allows me to drill through blue blocks? That allows me to drill through blue blocks? That allows me to drill through blue blocks? Oh boy. I'm really liking this game. Thank goodness I don't need to do all of this in one go. There was a secret I missed. I was paying too much attention to everything else. Whoa, that was a slick dodge there. Whoa, that was a slick dodge there. Well, not Shovel Knight Dig, but something else. Level 10, the final stretch. I hope so, Felicity. There's very likely a boss at the end of this place. Can't get it this way, but there is something interesting down there. I didn't mean to drill down that much. Fine. The element's just in sight. The element's just in sight. I went too fast. Oh, hello, Frogger. Already I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing so far. It reminds me of Nitrom games, in fact. It really reminds me of Nitrom games. Urt. The source of power. We got it. Urt, the source of power. Urt, the source of power. It's more of a spin-off, Jaden. Sort of. No biggie. It was no biggie. We'll see about that, mysterious figure. Deletion? This is not Battle Network. To be continued in the final game. This was a good time. This was a great time to end off the demo. Oh, time trials. How does this work? Oh, I see. Get through the demo as quickly as possible. This was a good point to end off the demo. At the end of the first biome. Shame there wasn't a big machine to trash. This was a good point to end off the demo. Right at the end right at the end of the first, right after the end of the, right at the end of the first biome, right at the end of the first biome, right at the end of the first biome, right at the end of the first biome. I wonder if obtaining more of these elements. I'm curious. Does obtaining elements increase your ability? Does obtaining elements... I'm curious. I have one question though. Does obtaining elements grant you new powers? Does obtaining new elements power up Cardin? I have two questions though. I have two questions though. Does obtaining new elements power up Cardin? Does obtaining new elements power up Cardin? And how do you break through the blue blocks? And how do you break through the blue blocks? Are they merely pushable in one direction? Or do I need to collect the power up? This was longer than Dorma Vigalia, by 5 minutes at least. Or at least it felt longer. Alright, now please leave your comments of how you feel on this game. Overall, in short, overall, this was a very solid demo. One of the best demos I covered during this stage, period. One of the best demos I covered during this stage, period. One of the best demos I covered during this stage, period. One of the best demos I covered during this stage, period. It's just so engaging. It's just so fast-paced and engaging and polished. It's just so fast-paced and polished and engaging. It's just so fast-paced and polished and engaging. It's just so fast-paced, engaging, and polished, and polished. It's just so fast-paced, engaging, and polished, and polished. It's just so fast-paced, engaging, and polished. It's just so fast-paced, engaging, and polished, and polished, and polished. It really reminds me of a Nitrom title. It really reminds me of Nitrom. In fact, the way this is structured, it really reminds me of Nitrom. In fact, the way this is structured, it really reminds me of Nitrom. It really reminds me of Nitrom. In fact, the way this is structured, it strongly reminds me of Nitrom. 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 Which is a huge compliment. It strongly reminds me of Nitrom, which is a big compliment. Which is a big compliment in my book. Which is a big compliment in my book. I don't I actually don't have any complaints about this. I know I played this with a keyboard, but you can play this just as well with a gamepad. Just make sure to use a D-pad. Just make sure to use a D-pad. I played this with a keyboard, but you can play this just as well using a game. But you can play this just as well by using. But you can play this just as well using a gamepad. But you can play this just as well by using a gamepad. But you can play this just as well using a gamepad. Using a gamepad. But you can play this just as well using a gamepad. Just make sure to use a D-pad. But you can play this just as well using a gamepad. Using a gamepad. Just make sure to use a D-pad. Just make sure to use a D-pad. I have no criticisms here. I have no criticisms. Controls were very responsive. The moment I pressed the key, Cardin immediately moved in that direction. The moment I pressed the movement key, Cardin immediately moved in that direction. Cardin immediately moved in that direction. Cardin immediately moved in that direction. The moment I pressed the key, Cardin immediately moved in that direction. In fact, the base mechanics are fairly simple. You can only move in 3 different. The base moveset is really simple. In fact, the base moveset is really simple. The base moveset is really simple. You can only move or drill in 3 different directions: left, down, and right. Left, down, or right. Left, down, or right. Left, down, or right. But the game manages to get a whole lot of mileage out of it. But the game manages to get a lot of mileage out of this moveset by use of different mechanics and by use of different enemies and mechanics. But the game manages to get a lot of mileage out of this through the use of but the game manages to get a lot of mileage out of them. Let's see, yeah, we have time for one more. So give me a second. In any case, good job, developers. In any case, good job, developers. I wish the best of luck to you. Okay, folks, the next game is gonna be much simpler because, covering the Magical Girl game tonight is as is a bullet hell, that's a bad idea. I'll save that for a future evening. I just want to put it out there to not disappoint anyone. Hey, at least we get to cover more of the interesting demos here. It's not like the Steam Next Fest where there are tons on tons of interesting demos, which you'll never get to. Anyways, come on game, please download. I believe in you. Alright, it should be downloaded now. Fun fact, some of the developers on this are also active in the Mega Man community. Okay. Let's rename this. Oh. Um. Right then. Looks like this one will do full screen for the most part. Okay, I think we're all set. Just gonna reset the game and we're on to the final one for tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greetings everyone. Greetings everyone. My name is Etterville. My name is Etterville. My name is Etterville. My name is Etterville. And welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of the Voyage. And welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of the Voyage, a 2D action platformer in development by U Bowman. Before we begin, let's read this. Pause and unpause the video if you want to read this. I will check out the second game, that's for sure. Wait a sec. Where's the exit? There's no exit button. Okay, we'll do this again. Before we begin, let's read this. Please pause and unpause the video if you wish to read this. I sure will, especially Fetch. Veteran mode it is. Again, buttons are a little bit different than what I expect, but you know, NES game. Anyways, let's get started. Veteran it is. Get psyched. Here we go. That hurts me. I was wondering where the music went. How do I reset this? Let's begin. Veteran mode it is. Get psyched. I'm doing this on veteran. There's no way I'm doing it on the harder modes. This is Castlevania inspired. This is Classicvania inspired, by the way. This is Classicvania inspired, by the way. So use the sword against shielded enemies, and the arrows against everyone else. So use the sword against. So use the sword. So use the sword against shielded enemies, and the bow against everyone else. I was too aggressive there. Use the sword against shielded enemies, and the bow against everyone else. At least it gave me plenty of reaction time. That's not a good sign. Boss time. It's the Executioner. Boss time. The Executioner. That was fast. Use the sword against shielded enemies, and the bow against everyone else. There's been plenty of Mega Man noises. There's been plenty of Castlevania and Mega Man noises. Whoa, you don't ha- Where is the iframes? Sheesh, you barely have any iframes here. What? What's happened? Why did I stop in midair? Sheesh, you barely have any iframes here. At least the enemies give me plenty of time to react. At least the enemy troops give me plenty of time to react. One, two, three. Bye-bye, Executioner. Stage 1 complete. But I'm 2 lives down. Not a good start. Well, that was fast. Avis Phoenix, Lord of the Castle, is waiting with his soldiers and a flamethrower. Let's try this on hardcore. Jump cancelling and free jumping are disabled on this mode. What did it mean? So now we have Castlevania jumps, basically. And I only have 6 health, too. Ow. Not yet. I want to see the difference on this mode. Now that I know what I'm doing, actually. Now that I know what I'm doing. This is basically, we now have Castlevania's jumping physics. Now we have Castlevania's jumping physics going on. The enemies give me plenty of time to react to them. Probably more than they should. Probably a bit more than they should, but it's only the first stage, so it makes sense. And I can see why the original NES game never came out. You only have 6 HP too. So it's not like the enemies are it's not like the enemies are also more damage tanky. The bosses also only have 6 HP too. Playing on this, so it's more fair that way. I perish faster, and the bosses too and the bosses as well. So I perish faster, but so do the bosses. I'm curious, how difficult is Brutal Mode? I mean, there's nothing after this, so I might as well check it. So now everything's instant death. So now everything's basically instant death. Minus the traps, I believe. Falling into a pit, of course, is instant death regardless. Falling into a pit, though, is instant death regardless. Minus the traps, though. Yeah, at least not until tomorrow. The first game I'll cover tomorrow is Dono's Tale, by the way. This is only the first stage, so even on hard mode, so even on brutal mode, it's not really that brutal. The boss, however, I can't make any mistakes. But seeing as he has a very strict pattern, and he never deviates from it, this is a cinch. But seeing as he has a very strict pattern, and he never deviates from it, this'll be a cinch. The only reason I died the first 2 times is because I didn't get his pattern down. And his attacks aren't even instant dead. And his attacks aren't even instant dead anyways. And his attacks aren't even instant dead anyways. The only reason I died the first 2 times is because I hadn't figured out his hadn't figured out his pattern yet. He only has one attack. He only has one attack pattern, and he never deviates from it. To be fair, well, in any case, controls and physics feels solid, and even though controls and physics feel solid, and even though you barely have any iframes, it feels fair. And even though you barely have any iframes, it feels mostly fair. It feels fair. All the enemies give you plenty of time to react to them. Every enemy gives you plenty of time to react to them. Oh, don't worry, Mega. It'll get harder. I'm sure of it. And every enemy gave me plenty of time to react. And every enemy gave me plenty of time to react to them. In fact, it felt a bit excessive at times. In fact, it felt a bit much at times. And every enemy gave me plenty of time to react to them. In fact, it felt a bit excessive at times. Regardless, despite its simplicity, in spite of its simplicity, it feels fairly solid. So, I wish the best of luck to you bowmen. I wish the best of luck to you, you bowmen. In any case, I wish the best of luck to the developer. I wish the best of luck to you bowmen. Alright, see you all tomorrow morning for at least 3 or 4 more demos. 1 2D, 3 more 3D. Hopefully 3 more 3D. See you then. Bye.